Welcome in, I'm Artress, and in this video we're going to be going over Red-Green Oden, a new leader to come out of EB01, the Memorial Collection. He is a red-green leader that says, according to the rules, your character cards with the type Land of Wano without a counter have plus 1000 counter. And Dawn times 1 when attacking, if you have a cost 5 or greater Land of Wano character in play, this leader gains plus 1000 power until the start of your next turn. So, a couple of key things here. One, your deck mostly does not have any duds now. So one of the things with the older Oden is that some of the cards that you had at times were counterless, and you ended up having to have a really awkward hand where you're trying to counter out and you can't. So like things like Okiku and your Denjiros in that time period were not really good. And so therefore the green Oden leader from OP01 wasn't amazing. The second thing here is the Dawn times 1 when attacking. If you have a 5-cost character that is a Land of Wano in play, you get an extra 1000 power with a Dawn attached. So you're swinging for 7, and then on your defensive turn, you are a 6k leader, which, as we've seen in the past, 6k leaders are very, very strong. Obviously, with Whitebeard dominating the meta for 1, because it's a 6k leader, and 2, all the card draw. It was an insane leader for the longest time. And so Oden kind of borrows off of that, being a strong 7k attack, but then on the defensive side, being a 6000 power body that your opponent has to either tax themselves up to swing at you appropriately, or they have to play a little bit more awkward. Both of those things are very strong on paper. However, with the meta being what it is, overall, I will say that this deck is not very strong. But if it's not very strong, damn it, it is so fun to play. So when I first saw this leader, I was very skeptical. I didn't think that there would be a lot of good cards for it to play, or that it kind of just would feel like its predecessor in the sense that, yeah, maybe it has a couple of combo pieces, but overall, it doesn't really feel that great to play. I was wrong. My friend Brian convinced me to try it out. He had messaged me saying how much fun it was and that he's having a lot of just excitement playing this leader. And so I had to check it out, of course, and see if it was good. So shout out to Brian for the inspiration behind this video. But before we get into the deck list, if you find anything in this video useful or informative, please make sure to drop a like and a sub. It helps out the channel immensely. I cannot thank you enough for all of the support. Additionally, if you'd like to talk about the One Piece card game outside of the YouTube comments, come join the Discord. The link is in the description below. All right, so going straight into the deck list itself, this is the powerhouse of the deck. I think this is the strongest card for the deck, and that is the 5-cost Izo in red. And it's an on-play, attach up to 1 Rested Dawn to your leader or one of your characters, and then when the opponent attacks once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand. If your leader has the Land of Wano or Whitebeard Pirates type, give up to one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 2000 power for the turn. So this will pitch some of these cards that are what you could call duds as 2k counters, essentially. So that ability alone makes this card very worthwhile to put in the deck, but the first ability is also amazing as well, being able to attach a Rested Dawn on play. This card coming from EB01 is one of the clear favorites for this deck, and honestly, I don't think this deck would be nearly as playable if this card wasn't in it. Then we're running 4 of the 5-cost Yamato from EB01. This is a 2k counter. Gonna be honest here, I've never played this down, but you could, I suppose, to get your leader ability off if you're desperate enough. But the ability says activate main once per turn, give up to one of your Rested Dawn to your leader or one of your characters. So you could use this to get the leader effect off, like I said, if you're desperate to get a 5-cost body out there. Otherwise, this is just a 2k counter. Then we're running 4 Otama from OP01, the classic best red 2k counter in the game. It's an on-play, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2000 power during this turn. This is situational. Sometimes it comes up, sometimes it doesn't. Since I am running Newgates, which we'll get to next, I think that this is a decent 2k counter to be able to play. The main reason it's here, it's a Land of Wano 2k counter that can be searched off of the Momonosuke searcher. Then we're running 4 Edward Newgate. Now, this is not a Land of Wano type. However, it is one, very on theme. It's extremely lore accurate, so we love building lore accurate decks here. So Newgate, it being in this deck, makes sense. But secondly, it does kind of synergize with your leader ability. So on your 9 Dawn turn, you can play this down, and your leader is a 7k body for an entire turn cycle without having to invest the Dawn into it. However, if you do play this on your 10 Dawn turn with maybe another 5-cost Land of Wano character, you can then put 1 Dawn under your leader, and you're swinging for 9, defending for 8. So I think Newgate makes a lot of sense here. There are some people that prefer the 9-cost Zoro, which also is, I suppose, in a way lore accurate, but I think the Newgate is more flavorful to put into the deck, so that's why it's here. And at the end of the day, if your Izo is on the field and you need a 2k counter and this is in your hand, you can just pitch it for the effect of Izo. Then we're running another new card from EB01. This is a Hiyori 4-cost body, 0 power, but the effect is activate main. You may place this card into your trash. Place up to one 5-cost or less Land of Wano type character other than Hiyori from your hand into play, then draw 1 card. Considering your entire deck, except for the new gates, are Land of Wano, you can get anything out onto the field, but your prime targets are your Denjiro, which we'll get to, and your Izo, which I just talked about. And then secondary targets, you can have this 5-cost Yamato we'll get to, and then the Yamasan, which is another card we'll get to right now. This is another card from EB01. It's just a vanilla. Sometimes you need a body that is 5-cost, and 5-cost 7k power is the best stat line you can get for that as of this recording until we get power crept later on a year from now, I suppose. So yeah, this is a good card to put in that place. So that's why it's here. Then we're running 4 of the Rest Izo, probably the best 2k counter in green. This is also, surprise, surprise, a Land of Wano card, and it says on play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters at the cost of 4 or less. So this is a very useful tool if you're trying to go for game and there's a pesky blocker in the way. And the other combo that I talked about briefly that I mentioned, that if you want to get a blocker out of the way, you can play an Otama and then put 2 on Newgate to swing and pop it. So there's a couple ways to get past blockers off of just our 2Ks, which is really nice. Then another way that we can get past some blockers are the Ukiku from OP01, which says Dawn times 1 when attacking. Once per turn, rest up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 5 or less. So you can throw this down on your 3 Dawn turn, or even your 4 Dawn turn if you so choose. And then the next turn, if there's a blocker in the way that you want to get past, you can just put 1 Dawn underneath Okiku and then use the ability there. Next up, we have 4 of the 1-cost Momo Searchers. This is an activate main, pay 1 and rest this character. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Land of Wano type card and add it to your hand, and place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So this searches pretty much the entirety of the deck. The key pieces that I'm looking for most of the time when I am using this as a searcher, if I don't have a Hiyori, I'm looking for a Hiyori. Otherwise, I'm looking for the Izo. That's how important this is. A good secondary target would be the Denjiro, and then maybe a good 4th target would be your 2k counters if you're looking for a little bit of protection. So it grabs pretty much anything in the deck that you're needing. Then we have Denjiro, which is a 5-cost 7k body, which great stat line. However, it doesn't have counter, so that's one of the reasons why it was tough to play in previous sets, because if you have this in hand and you don't really have time to play it, it's just kind of dead. But with this leader, now it's a 1k counter at worst. So Dawn times 1 when attacking. If your leader is Oden, which it is, set up to 2 of your Dawn cards as active. This is a really nice value engine, so you can play down something and then put 1 Dawn under Denjiro and get 2 of those back. So a lot of the times what I'll do is on my 5 Dawn turn, have the Denjiro out, then have the Izo come down on the following turn, put 1 Dawn from the Izo effect under Denjiro, then you have a couple of Dawn to play with. Afterwards, with the Denjiro, swing to either play another body that's like a 3-cost, or use your leader ability and really pop off swinging that way. So Denjiro is really good in this deck as well. Then we're running 2 Raizo. This is a 3-cost, 4,000 power body, and when attacking once per turn, if you have 2 or more rested characters, draw 1 card. So this will often be a good suitable replacement for Okiku if you don't have something on your second turn going first. This synergizes really well with the Momo, being able to search with this Momo and then have the Raizo on the field and then swing with it. Even if you're not connecting for an attack that will go through to life, you're just swinging a body to gain a card, and your opponent doesn't really like that, so they're probably going to attack into it to get rid of it. Then we're running 2 of the 5-cost Yamato from OP01. This is a double attack banish character, and it's also treated as Kozuki Oden. Not that that really matters in this deck, but overall, this is a very strong card against yellow if you do go against yellow. Throwing this down on your second turn with the Hiyori, if you're going second, you can throw the Yamato down and then the next turn swing double attack banish. That hurts a lot. So this is why it's here. Otherwise, you could replace this with some other cards, but I think this Yamato does have a place in this deck. Then we're running 4 of the Kozuki Oden, 8-cost from OP02. This is an activate main once per turn, pay 3 Dawn, and then set this character as active. Then the on-KO effect is play up to 1 Land of Wano type character card with a cost of 3 from your deck, then shuffle your deck. So your targets are going to be the Raizo or the Okiku, more than likely the Okiku because it is a great attacker. Then finally, to round it all out, we are playing 4 of the 4-cost Yamato from OP02. This is a on-play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. So sometimes there's blockers in the way that the Okiku cannot get through because maybe the Okiku didn't last a turn or just because there's too many blockers. This is a great way to rest pretty much any blocker in the game, barring maybe like if you're going against a queen and they run the 8-cost blocker. But yeah, you're going to be able to rest anything on the field for 4, which is a very nice effect to have overall, especially if you have the 8-cost on the field and you're trying to go for game. I think that this Yamato is really good Overall, I think the deck feels very tight as far as like it is very consistent in what you can get. You want a mulligan for the certain cards being the Izo and the Hiyori, but if you don't get that, then you can always search for it with the Momo. So once again, this deck feels very, very consistent in that regard. However, in the meta where Sakazuki is a menace still, I think that this deck will struggle for sure. I think this is a great local legend deck. Like, you take it and you can probably pop off with it. If you're going to a regional or treasure cup with this deck, I wish you the best of luck and hope you pop off, but I don't see it doing extremely well over a 9-round tournament. Some of the replacements are some of the things that I've considered in this deck, by the way, because I'm sure that there's some people that are considering some things outside of what's in this deck list. The 9-cost Zoro in place of the Newgate, or maybe lowering the ratios, is probably a decent idea there. There's also the 4-cost Ryuma from the OPO6 set, and that I think is also a suitable replacement for maybe a Yamato, or just somewhere to put in the deck, the one that KOs things on play. And then the other thing that's been popping up a lot recently has been this old event from OPO1 called You Can Be My Samurai, and this is a pay 1. You may rest 2 of your characters, draw 2 cards. This card will eventually make its way into this deck in OPO7, but as of right now, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't have a lot of great targets, and I think the reason for it is because like the targets you usually use it for later on are either 2K counters that you've played down or things that you don't really care or can't be swung into easily. So if you want, like, now all of your targets are pretty much targets you want to stay untapped for the most part, but in the next set, you do get the Otama Searcher. That is a 2K counter, and you throw it down on the field, you search with it, then you play a Hiyori on your 5-down turn, and the Hiyori comes in standing upright, so then you play the Samurai, rest the 2, draw 2 cards, then play the Hiyori's effect to bring something out. So that is an option you can do now. However, I don't think that it fits quite well right now. So I would consider this for OPO7 at least. But yeah, this is the deck list. Overall, it feels very smooth, but let's take it into the sim and see how it does. Okay, going against Enel, they chose to go first. I think that's fine for us because this is a good going second hand. Let's keep it. We don't really have anything to do on this turn, so that's fine. We'll just pass. The ideal hand would have been a Momo to play down and then use the Momo search. But we don't have that, so that's fine. Take the hit and pass. This next turn, we're going to play the Hiyori down, which will then combo out to get the Izo. Put 1 under and then swing 7. 7 is very hard for Enel to consistently counter out of. So later on in the game, these will definitely hurt. The only thing that I'm worried about is a Onami out of life, which that will ruin a lot of our time. So got to be careful about that. You know, what would have been possibly better this turn than the Izo could have been playing the Denjiro, because then that way it allows us to open up more Dawn the next turn, but I do like getting the Izo down early, because then that allows us to swing for 7, and we're a little bit more defensive this turn. I'm going to be really honest here. Them dropping a Yamato is very suspicious. To me, I never drop Yamato. I'm going to take this one, go down to 2 is fine. Iku Nojo, that is a thing. Well, let's swing 7 first. See if it connects. It probably will. Okay. Now, what do? We play the Hiyori. I assume we play the Hiyori is the better play here. Do this. I was hoping for like a Momo off of this, but yeah. That's okay. We're just going to swing, I guess, really big. Swing 9. Then we just have to defend, right? Defend the best we can. I think it's fine to get rid of the Raizo. I think it's fine to get rid of the Denjiro at this point. Even the Okiku is a fine target to get rid of. They're on their 7 Dawn turn, so if they want to do something that's threatening, they would have to not swing with their leader. Yeah, Ace is... Oh, maybe that is something that they could do. We're not going to take this. We're not going to take it. Okay, cancel. Cancel. No blocker. And then I think we just use the Denjiro. Yeah. Nope. No blocker. And Okiku. And I'm going to use it again. Let's go ahead and cancel, no block, and just use the Yamato. Because I don't think we need it right now. We're fine. This is a tough one. What is the right choice? Do we play the Oden down? I think we have to do this. Swing 7, just to see what they do. If they counter out of this, then we just start going for their bodies. I don't think playing the Oden would make sense. I want to get the bodies off of the board at this point. Do I care about the Yokiku? I don't care if they heal. Because they're going to 9. They're probably going to heal anyway. And let's play down the Raizo and pass. And then the next turn we can play the Newgate. And we can end up doing Katakuri. Okay. Okay. No blocker. We're not going to take this life. We're just going to counter out of it. Because we're going to draw with the Raizo. Swing here. Swing 7. I don't think I want to swing the other Izo, to be honest. Swing 9. And this next turn, if they don't heal, which they probably will, it's Enel. We have a good shot at like pushing for game. I figured as much. No blocks. We're gonna counter out with a 2K counter. Probably this one. This one's probably the most effective here. Then I think we're gonna go. Do we pretend like I think we just go after their life, right? No, I think we actually don't. We end up doing this instead. We'll go here. Get a couple cards out of hand. That's fine. We'll go 7 at life. Because this will tell them, oh, we're going to start going for a lethal play here. Go 7 again. They're probably going to counter out of this one. If they have it, they should. Okay. And we'll go 8 at the Katakuri. They're going to counter out, but we're just trying to empty their hand a little bit, gain some knowledge, and put the Oden down. The Oden is a very, very strong tool here. If these bodies can survive, then I think we're okay. The Yamato might be able to take one. If we can protect the Newgate, I think we're fine. Going for game. I think we just take it. I think we just take it and see what we get. They might have like a rush ace. That's also something to keep in mind as well. Don't want to get cheesed by what they might have. Although we do have some protection, which is nice. Let's use this ability, use the card action. Resolve the attack. I think I'm going to use the card action again. Reduce this. No block. 1K. Because I feel like they have something here that's going to help them close out the game. Okay. Katakuri. Interesting. How hard can we pressure? Go 9, 9. I think we just swing 7 first. No, we can probably go 8. Let's just swing 7 first. Let's see what they do. Okay. They take it. Now we have to have a couple of hits connect here. Do we go for the 9? I think we go for 9. We go with this body because I don't want something to KO this if it comes out of life. Okay. We'll go 11. It's a really hard number for them to counter out of. I'm gonna do 7 first just to get a couple cards out of hand. Okay, and then we go 11. Ah, we had it. Wow. That felt very close, but I think Enel matches kind of are that way regardless. But yeah, I think this is the ideal way to set up the board. That turn where we were struggling to try to like KO the Katakuri and then pressure their life, we were just trying to eat cards from hand, and I think that really helped for this turn when we were going for game. All right, going against Red Purple Law, arguably the best deck in the format. We're going to do this. We're going to keep this hand. We're going to search for an Ezo off of this Momo. And hopefully they don't just bottom deck it. Maybe they attack into it would be nice. Fund the Ezo and we'll pass. So next turn we can actually play the Ezo with the Hiyori. This is these like 7-cost bodies or 7,000 power bodies are actually really rough for Law because they usually have to get rid of, like, play down 2 cards to get rid of it. Why? Okay, this is a mistake. Always attack into me. Always attack into me and then use your leader ability if you have the thing. Maybe they didn't have the thing they needed. That could be it. We're going to not attack. We're going to play the Hiyori first. Play the Ezo down. Draw a card, put the rested onto the leader, and then swing 7 into the Red Purple Law. And now we're a 6k power body, which for Law, using their Dawn is probably the last thing they want to do now. So I guess it makes a little bit of sense. They just attacked into it. Yeah, there's nothing they can do here. If they want to play the Captain Kid, then be my guest. Maybe they should have done that first. Oh well. Some small minor misplays here from the opponent, but I think overall, nothing that is like monumentally game-changing. So let's go ahead and swing for 7. Let's play the Hiyori down. Let's go and use the Hiyori to bring out this. And then I think we'll just swing 8. Yeah, just swing 8. Now the following turn, what we can do is we can play it on the Oden, which is pretty nice. This Oden is going to be very difficult for them to get rid of. I think it requires them to have a max raise or raise max rather, and a Gordon, or maybe like an Otama. So yeah, once again, they have to get rid of 1 to 2 cards to get rid of a lot of these bodies, as you can see. But they do have a pretty healthy hand overall, so I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. They're going to swing into this one. Jesus. What are they doing? All right, sure. Go for it. Be my guest. Yeah, you have it. Go for it. I'm not defending this. I'm just not. Yeah. We haven't taken a hit here, so we're completely fine doing this. That might explain why they dropped all the Otamas. But still, I don't think that's the right play. Okay, we'll take it. We're going to swing 5. We're just going to swing 5 here. Because it doesn't matter. They're going to block it anyway. I want to see if they at least give us something. They don't. We'll play it on the Oden. Now, we're in a little bit of a bind here because we do have a couple of bodies coming at us this next turn. I'm okay going down to like 2 life, probably. Not really comfortable going down to the 1 life area against this deck. But the following turn, what we can end up doing is use the Momo. If it does stay in our hand, which it might. We don't know. I want to be able to use my Oden ability a couple of times or at least use the Oden ability to be able to clear the board if I can. Although going for like a more lethal play is probably fine. We'll take that for sure. I think we counter out of this one. And I don't have a reason to have the Raizo, so I think I'll just get rid of it. Okay. What could this be? That hurts. That definitely hurts. I think our best bet here is to go like maybe 9. So we're going to have to use this 9. Okay. I think we go 9 here. 9 there. Hiyori. Hiyori effect to bring out Yama. And then we'll go 8 there. We have to clear the board here, I think, because if we try to pressure for life, I don't think we're going to connect all the way through, so it's better to just pressure their board instead. I think the bodies are a little bit more of the problem for us. So if we can get rid of some of their stuff, I think that's fine. Now we're back on a defensive play, which is really nice. We don't mind getting rid of a lot of these counters here. What they need to do to go for lethal is use their blockers, which I don't think that they're going to do. It's fine. Let's see what we have to get past here. Reiju. Okay. So we can actually do something interesting here where we can actually just go and I think swing 7. The only thing I'm really worried about here is the Mr. 2. Swing 8. They're probably going to be able to counter out of this. No. Oh, okay. Swing 9. So now we're a defensive 8 instead. And I think we're better suited next turn to be able to go for lethal with a bunch of these big bodies on the board. Overall, our opponent didn't play the start correctly. However, they definitely turned it around, I would say. I think after they play the kid, the turn after that is when they started doing law things. No, we're not taking this. I messed up. Because in case they throw down a blocker, which I suppose they could only do that with their ability, which would be a 4 or less. So the Ezo is actually just a fine choice anyway. Ah, okay. They're doing the combos. Yeah, we're not taking any of this because this is a 10k body. Yeah, we'll take that one. We'll take that one. Yeah, and there's no way they survived the crackback. They were just trying to go for game there, and I think that they did a pretty decent job with what they did. They swung 8 with a very low hand size, baited me out to swing with this 8 here. They wanted to just check my hand, which I had it, so pretty nice. All right, against Crocodile, another deck that got support from EB01, so this should be an interesting matchup. Since we're going first, I think that this is an okay hand. What we can do is we will play the Momo down, and then after the Momo, I think we just search with the Momo because it's going to have them attack into it. I like the Hiyori. That's not bad. And then we'll just swing 7. We don't really have anything else to do here. The worst case scenario is if a body comes out from that swing and then the leader isn't an automatic. Okay. Okay. Why? Why? Why is it always me? Okay, so next turn what we can end up doing is playing the Denjiro. We don't mind taking a hit. I just thought it would be a better play for us if it was a forced leader swing. This is an annoying card, but not the worst thing for us, to be honest. Oh. Denjiro is good, but there's argument to play this Yamato because it's yellow and because this also makes their Bond Clay not nearly as strong. Swing 7 and hope for the best. There's nothing that they can really do unless they have 1 an Onami in life, which there's no way we could play around that. And then 2, if they have reject, they could get rid of it. But for 7 Dawn, I don't really think they have anything that they can do. I think there was those 2 reasons is the reason why I played down, or the reasons why I played down the Yamato instead, because I don't want to bump this up to 7. I also don't want to like have triggers come out of life. I don't want them to have a bunch of cards by hitting them. They already are at 9, which is insane. That's the thing with like this Crocodile. Ooh, they feel the pressure. They feel the pressure. They start swinging with bodies and they start feeling pressure. That's good for us. That's really good for us. We're just going to counter out of this one. I think we can get rid of... Yeah, I don't need 2 Yamasans. Take that one. Not a problem. Swing 7 to 1. Get that off the field. I know this is a really Really? This is like a really troll play. Actually, I'm not going to do it. The reason why I'm not going to do this is because they might have the 1-cost event that will make me attack into this thing anyway. And that'd be pretty annoying, to be honest. If this goes down, I feel like they feel like this is a threat, right? Let's protect it. Let's protect it. I think we protect it. Yeah, let's grant him the life, because then it doesn't really matter at that point. Let's play the Oden down. Go here. Rip. Let's do this. Swing 7. We probably have the counter for it. Yeah. That's fine. They are so scared of this thing. They're just countering out everything that they can. They might heal up with the 8-cost proc here, which that sucks. But what can you do? Yeah, that's fine. They can have that one. I don't want them to have the Denjiro. I think the Denjiro is pretty useful here. Okay. That's fine. Let's play the Newgate. Swing here. I want to pressure them if I can. I want to pressure them pretty hard. Do I care if the... I think I can survive a Lin attack, to be honest. They have to have another one. Them tossing this means they have another one. Yeah. I'm going to pressure them hard. Got to do it. Now, if they get rid of this through KOing it, then I think we're looking pretty good. Because then... Okay, they're just trying to go for game, which I respect. 8 Dawn, they don't have a lot they can do here. They might play Katakuri to put this up in life. But that also means they're not healing, which is good. Trying to think of what the best play here is, to be honest. Like, it's not really clear. Do we keep... I want to keep all the bodies alive that I can. They might go 9 at the Denjiro. Let's see here. If they go 9 at the Denjiro, and we protect it, can we protect... What is this? 13? No, we can't. I think we have to let this one go. I think we have to let that go in order to keep the Oden alive. Because I think what they're going to do is they might swing... Yeah. I figured they might. Okay, we'll go here. 11. I think I want to swing 9. Like, get the 11 first, make them dump their entire hand, or else they're going to have to go a double attack Oden here, which it could be a thing. There's also a potential that there is a Bayesian life. Okay. Let's go 9. And then 11, 11. If it's double Okama or whatever it's called, I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to be so upset. Okay, please don't let it be double. Please don't let it be double. Whew. If it was double, I would have been in so much trouble there. I'm going to be honest. I almost thought that I lost, because if they had another way to redirect an attack to like one of these bodies, I'm done. I'm done for. But I think that we got pretty lucky there overall. I think we countered out correctly. Letting the Denjiro go in order to keep the Oden alive was the right choice. So, yeah. Okay, Zoro and Sanji is an interesting deck to go against. I think I want to take first because I think our curve is pretty decent going first, but I don't like this hand. To be honest, I don't really like this one either, but I think we'll have to pass. So the way that the Zoro and Sanji deck plays in EB01, I think it still uses a lot of the 2-cost characters, and I've seen at least the best version of this deck runs the Ivankov Luffy combo, and then plays a bunch of 2-cost characters to get a bunch of double attacks off. So yeah, I think that this deck definitely finds its purpose in 07 with the Warlords build, but as of right now, I don't think this deck is quite there. Not yet. Okay, let's swing 5. They could also run a package where they're very much a control deck because they are blue, and they could play the annoying parts of blue. Our best bet, though, for this next turn is to be able to play the Hiyori to get... Oh, man, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. That's fine. You can have it. The good thing about Hiyori is that it procs the sugar. Oh, it doesn't, does it? Oh, because it's not the Don Quixote Pirates type. It's true. But I'm going to attack into it anyway. Let's go! Our hand is bricked up, though. This is awful. We need to get hit. Oh, they're running this variant? Interesting. Good. It's good. It's not bad. It's not bad for sure. Getting a bunch of bodies out in the field is the best thing, I think, in this meta. But I think we're still able to control the board a little bit here. Because we have the Yamato, which is nice. Oh, I'm going to be honest. This is a tough one because the reason it's a tough one is because I could throw it on the Denjiro, but I don't do anything to their board, which is what I want to do the most. I want them to counter out, yeah. I want their hand to hurt. That's really good for us. That is really good for us. They dropped 5 cards to keep this Nami alive. It's going to be really hard for them to keep it alive after this turn. So they might want to do as much damage as they possibly can. Okay, they're attacking me, which I think is the right move, to be honest. I think we just counter out of this one. We'll take this Brook, and then we'll have to counter out, or we'll counter out of the Brook. We have to take the other one. We don't have any 2Ks in hand, so this is a good combo from them. All right, we're gonna do some damage this turn. That's for sure. Yeah, you should block that one, because next turn the Duval is not gonna stick around for very long. This Luffy's not bad. Whew, man. They comboed out hard there. That's insane. All right, how do we survive is the question. Do we protect the bodies? I think I have to keep the Oden in hand. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, that was good for us. That was very, very good for us. This will also be very good for us. They might block this. They might feel a little cheeky and block it. Okay, they don't. We go again. The reason I played the new gate down this turn, even though I'm not going to be able to use my leader ability off of it, is mostly due to I can't counter out with this. So if they decide to go for lethal here, which it looks like they're trying, I can use it as a counter, which I will. What potential do they have? I think that they might surprise us. So let's just counter out of what we can here. I don't want to be cheesed. Is this like a attack, restand? Okay, that's fine. Let's see what we got. They could go 9. Okay, they're not going 9. Nami for 7. Okay. That's fine. Fine for us. So it could be 7, 9, 11, 13. Just make it hard for them. Take it. If I go 12 and then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13. I could go 12. Whew. Oh, buddy. Oh, they were running Noah's Ark in this build? Oh my god, if that last card was Noah's Ark, that would have been insane. So I actually don't think that this build for what they had was that bad. Like the Straw Hat Crew film version. I think it's actually not so bad in this deck because you can use the Nami effect 2 times in a turn with attacking, and then also like you're able to put out a bunch of pressure on the board. So yeah, not awful. Well, hopefully I convinced you to at least try out Oden, because I think that this deck has a little bit of potential and is definitely fun to play. If you want to have fun playing the game, which I think a lot of us forget that the game is about having fun, this deck is definitely one that you can do it with, especially that there are no dead cards in hand, and the only potentially dead cards would be Newgate, but you're just playing that down anyway. So yeah, I really enjoy this deck. There's definitely different ways to build it, and you can expand on that in OP07. So maybe we'll revisit that down the road. But for now, I would say that this is the best leader to come out of EB01. So if you want, go ahead and grab yourself an alt art copy before they spike up for later down the road. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.